everyone. Thanks for tuning in to this News Now Health Update with Lisa Gibalerio from the Wayside Youth and Family Support Network and coordinator of the Belmont Wellness Coalition. Great to have you with us again, Lisa.
Thank you, Joanna. Great to be here.
So last time we explored the stressors inherent in the college application process. Today we are talking about the stress and pressure that teens are experiencing in general. So Lisa, how common is it for teens to report feeling overwhelming stress?
Fairly common, Joanna. The CDC tells us that 1 in 3 teenagers are experiencing overwhelming stress. And other studies report that it's about 60% of our young people who are experiencing stress. So fairly significant.
Yes, that is significant. What is the impact of this stress on young people?
The impact that we are most concerned about are mental health issues. Anxiety, depression, things like that have seen an uptick of about 40% over the past decade. Also, we know that stress can lead to substance misuse, as substances are often used by young people as a coping mechanism.
Can you help us understand where this pressure is coming from?
Sure. So what kids tell us when we meet with them is that they feel stress from their parents, from, the culture that they live in, from social media. The rising costs of just about everything have them feeling really daunted by their ability to thrive in the future if they do not get really high-paying jobs. They are very concerned about climate change. And as we discussed last week, they're feeling pressure to, achieve with regard to where they land for college, to live up to their parents' expectations for them, even though we know that the college application landscape has become much more competitive over the past 10 years. And I guess I'd say finally, Joanna, that kids feel the need to do everything that they do exceedingly well. So they feel that it's not enough to be on the soccer team or the rugby team. They have to make captain eventually. It's not enough to be in a school play. They have to have a lead in the play. So this kind of pressure just leads to stress, which, as we said, can lead to mental health impacts.
That's for sure. What can parents do to mitigate their kids' stress levels?
Well, I'm glad you asked that because parents definitely have a role. So first of all, let your kids know clearly that their value is not contingent upon their performance. Let them know that they matter to you regardless of their achievements. I would encourage parents to model balance in their own lives of work and play, not to be focused on their own achievements, to model good coping mechanisms. So when things, inevitably, we all have some stress in our lives, but parents can model, getting outside for some fresh air and exercise as a coping mechanism, listening to music, hanging out with their own friends, spending time with the family pet. So model the good coping mechanisms, not the maladaptive ones. Also, I would tell parents, you are going to feel anxious about all the things, but try not to let that anxiety bleed into your kids. And make home a safe place for them. They're going to feel, and they are feeling, enough pressure at school, on the field, in their choral groups or whatever. Make home a place where they don't feel continued stress. I would say that with regard to school sports and school activities, it might be that dropping something is a way to really positively impact their mental health. I'm not saying that it is, but be open to the conversation of letting your kids do less in order to feel less pressure and to have a good impact on their overall mental health. It just sometimes makes sense to drop a high pressure course or activity.
Those are great tips. Anything else parents should know on this important topic, Lisa?
Well, just that studies reveal that ongoing stress and pressure is almost as harmful to our kids as poverty or trauma, especially to their mental health. And I would say again, acknowledge your kids working hard, not focusing on the outcome of what they're doing. Just the fact that they're, engaged in hard work and doing well in that way. And as I often have on this show, Joanna, I would say if you see your kids suffering and really, if you're seeing those mental health impacts, consider professional help. It can be really meaningful for young people to talk to a professional.
Great advice, Lisa. Thank you again. And thank you everyone for tuning in to this News Now Health Update. Until next time.